Anti-Afro Svengalis. Sorry I'm late with this video. Let me explain what happened with the contest. The $300 contest that posed the question, how many men did NPW manipulate and or attempt to manipulate / control with money? And I just simply made a mistake and forgot to remove several names that were sent over for suggestions, but these were names I didn't think she gave money to these people. You see them by the asterisks. Some of them I'm sure she didn't give money to. So look at the red asterisks. Those are the men who we're almost certain NPW didn't send any money to. In fact, we know at least one sent money to her. And let me also clarify, there are other people on the list who she taunted because she didn't give them money. That's the reason why I'm not sending you a Cash App, because of ... Number 9 would be one of those subjects. Now, whether money was sent later, who knows? But it's a matter of public record that number 9 was taunted on a regular basis for not having received money. Now, it's all possible there are others on the list she didn't give money to, but the overwhelming majority for sure fall under the category of she gave money to them or she taunted them with money. In the end, it was about her trying to control the situation. So what happened with the numbers, it just got all jumbled up, and it wouldn't have been fair to draw names based on a total that I based the 3 categories on. So for this reason, everyone who participated were thrown in to one pot and 2 people were randomly selected. That video is going to go up in a few minutes. I just have a couple of editing spots to take care of, but my apologies for the snafu. But I think it's interesting, something about this list. Every single man on this list, she had a knockdown, drag out with, or was talking shit about, or was lying on, or cursed at, or was mad at, or had a problem. Look at all this. This is ridiculous, because she couldn't get them to do what she wanted. Either way it goes, or she didn't like what they were doing. She didn't like who they were talking to. I mean, I'm not going to forget what this wicked creature did. She did not like the fact that I was on Remix's page. And every chance she got, she brought my name up and tried to make me the focus of a live stream when I'm not even the topic. I'm just sitting there in the chat. She tried very hard to control Remix, and we know what happened with that. But we can say the same for everyone else on this list. She tried to leverage some form of control. Some of them didn't include money, but most of them did. I've got so much to say about NPW and all of the atrocious, disgusting, abominable conduct that she has perpetrated right here in these YouTube streets. But take a look at this list. Every single area listed here. Dr. Hershey Squirts was the one who would bring up the topic involving other people. Other people didn't bring it up involving her. Now, one I'm going to pick out and tell you about. Domestic violence. Dr. Hershey Squirts went around bashing Stargate, who shared personal story about domestic violence. But that's very interesting, because Dr. Hershey Squirts was on a panel and said when she was 18, she was getting beat up by some dude and her dad had to come get her. I actually don't believe the story. I'm not saying I don't believe she wasn't getting hit, but I don't believe her dad came and rescued her. This is the reason why I feel this way. How often have you heard Dr. Hershey Squirts say her dad is a KILLA? He was in the army. He was a KILLA. He de-existed people. So you mean to tell me that a dad who's a KILLA, without hesitation, would do what? Nothing? She didn't give us any recitation of how her father actually did something. Let me tell you what I guarantee you didn't happen, because if it did, she would have relayed the situation. Check this out.
Michael, something's happened.
Who did it?
Mort Lund's boy, Zachary.
Dad, what is it?
Michael,
What's going on?
nothing.
Hey, how's it going, Mike?
What the hell are you doing here?
Current called me. She told me you might be headed here. You got a problem?
Not me, it's those bastards in there who got a problem.
I'm not afraid to talk with them, officer. We can clear this up right now. You heard about the underage drinking and other behavior. Zachary has been disciplined.
Where is he?
We've grounded him for 6 weeks and denied him use of the car.
Where is he?
He's not here.
The hell he isn't. You little bastard, you get your ass down here!
Take it easy,
This is my
Michael.
house.
Should be arresting that punk for abuse. Assault! Bastard, what did you do to my daughter?
Michael, calm down. Michael, it's over.
It's all right, son. It's all right.
What did you do to my girl?
He has several bruised ribs, and his nose was broken when they threw him down the stairs.
Now, am I saying every father would do this? No. But give us some information. There is no information to give. It's all made up. He never rescued her because she would have had a story to tell. Because her dad, like she said, is a KILLA, or was a KILLA. I could go a lot of places about that claim. And Dumpsy, with his lying ass, trying to tell Stargate, oh no, that wasn't right. You shouldn't be talking about her dad. She opened her mouth and was talking about everybody else's daddies and families. You're going to open up your mouth and talk about people's daddies and families. We can open up our mouth and talk about yours. There is no prohibition against doing that. And this crying about, Afro Svengalis finds my dad's obituary. And Rev G did too. Rev G didn't post any damn obituary. I posted the obituary. The third time I'm posting it is right below the title. I'll keep continuing to post it. I will decipher it and I will go over that obituary that tells the story of her life. Her dad left at 10 years old. And I'm not ragging on anybody out there. Your life circumstances are your life circumstances. However, this is a demonette who runs around here acting like she had this pristine White Castle family and starts trashing everybody as if we were raised in a freaking gutter somewhere. The person who very clearly was raised below gutter level is Dr. Hershey Squirts. Her favorite topic is talking about feces. Screaming and hollering and cursing, has no self-control. What kind of upbringing would it result in if you didn't have a man around the home that was firm and in a leadership role? And if this wasn't present in the home while you're being brought up, somewhere along the way, you had an appropriate, positive role model. Obviously, that was missing because all she aims to do is to control men. And if you don't do what she wants, she completely unravels. Let's go back slightly in time, because remember, we reserve the right to address issues in our own timeline. Do you recall when MPW came on and was talking about her dad being in the hospital and then he passed away? She was making all kinds of statements, linking other women and besmirching their relationships with their fathers as if she has any information about that. She even included me making comments. For the most part, I didn't respond to what she was saying because she sounded ridiculous. But how the world turns. Look at this photo here of Stargate, who was recapturing her crown, and posted a photo to that effect. NPW took it upon herself to start speaking about Stargate and making a claim that she was wearing a diaper. And I'm going, where in the world does this factor in to the whole scenario? Look here on the screen. Look at all of the elements that are most likely to support someone wearing a quote diaper. These were things that NPW discussed. She talked about an amputation. She talked about a prolonged hospitalization, which would require a hospital bed. And obviously, small adult diapers. You can do the math on that. None of that applies to Stargate. Stargate is up here, standing on both feet with her arms stretched out. She has no missing limbs. Again, NPW has to apply her situation to others so she can try to get distance from her reality. Her reality has nothing to do with us. Again, if she wants to open up her mouth and talk about people and their families, it's fair game to respond in kind. And as a matter of fact, my response comes nowhere near how NPW responds, but that's okay. It's a response nonetheless. And I think I'm very much on point. A hospital bed, a missing leg goes with the highly likely scenario that her dad was wearing diapers. Stargate, again, doesn't have a hospital bed. She has no missing limbs. She's not incapacitated. She's free to walk around. Less likely to be in a scenario that NPW is trying to force her into. But she continues to say and do things that make her look completely and totally foolish. It's not going to have any impact on what I'm going to say. In the meantime, never forget to heed the warning, buyer beware.